even though I literally just said that with 21 Bridges, you know, they had so many issues going on with this movie before it even came out, and I went to see it anyway, only because Chadwick was in it, and I feel like I need to support Bae. But there were so many issues going on with Harriet. Like, first of all, you had Cynthia, whatever her name is, talking shit about black Americans. Then you had people talking about how they didn't what's the name, give the right depiction, if that's the right word, of Harriet. Like, this movie, we supported Black Panther, so we need to support Harriet because it's our... Wait, she said that? Oh, your mom said that about... And so, you know what? This is why I wanted to talk about this movie. So, I watched it with an open mind. Okay? Like I do with any movie, I watched it with an open mind. And when I tell you this, I have seen plenty of movies about slavery. And I feel like the worst, not saying the movie was bad, but the one that kind of really messed with me, that it had to be, child, what is his name? Birth of a Nation. That right there, oh boy, did that mess with me. It took me a minute to get over that. Like, that was that one, and 12 Years a Slave, and what was Rosewood? That's another one. I mean, they weren't slaves, but what they did to those people, like, it was... But this movie here was like the patty cake version of slavery. like they were just... This was the happy go... Like, first of all, when you do a movie about slavery, when you... And see, here's the thing, and it bothers me a little bit. Like, I understand, you know, people, a lot of us black people are tired of seeing movies about slavery, but at the same time, it's history. It's our history, and however many times it needs to be told, because again, every year we're entering a whole new generation, right? And our generation needs to know what happened with our history, no matter how ugly it is, because it is ugly. We do need to know about it, you know. And I feel like it needs to be, if you are that person that can tell that story in the best way, then tell it. But at the same time, don't be like, well, I'm going to tell this story and you only give us the Christian view, the Christian version of it. Because first of all, the same person, if you ever seen the movie Eve's Bayou, she's the director of that movie. She directed this movie. She literally said that she wanted to create this movie to be family friendly, that she wanted it to promote freedom, and she wanted it to be where parents can bring their children to the theater to see this movie. And I feel like there is nothing family friendly about slavery. There's nothing and I feel like a lot of these movies about slavery, what we see, like Birth of a Nation, that was only scratching the surface of what truly went on with these people. Like, these people were absolutely tortured, made feel less than, like, in the beyond, like beyond what we could even think of. And to know the fact that these are people and they treated them like they were cattle, like, for what, you know? So let me see what he's saying. Ever, in no way, slave master is going to talk to a runaway slave in a calming manner. Yeah, like, they literally called the slaves in the movie respected workers. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay? What are you talking about? Like, I find it hard to believe that throughout this movie you have all these, like, the things that they say, and back then, like I heard them they literally said nigger one time in the movie. They said nigger one time in the movie, and that was it. And I was like, nah, I knew for a fact. Back then, they was nigger this, nigger that, nigger. Like, we all know that. So, they they only said it one time, and that was it. And then, out of all this stuff that's happening, like, they literally tried to do the whole Christian route. Like, black people are so nice, like, they're so loving, they're so forgiving. And it's like, yes, some of us are, but stop showing us in that, oh, we have to forgive. And I feel like that's what they were doing in this movie. And it's like, no. Like, you mean to tell me you got all these white supremacists and none of them died? None of them died. Like, Harriet was literally right there in front of her slave master, and she let him go. I'm like, you mean to tell me? And it's just like, I know Harriet done killed some people in her day. I know she did. You think Harriet Tubman was walking around with a shiny fucking crown on and dressed while she was taking slaves to freedom? Like, come on. I'm like, what is this? What is happening here? Like, and then, let's see, they used to call slaves monkeys, the N-word, and a lot. Right, like, if you're gonna do a movie about slavery, you either go hard or you go home. You go hard or go home. There's no friendly, fluffy fluff about it. Even Roots, back in the 70s, when they had very, very little resources there. And they even put in there, yes, slaves were whipped, okay, they called them the N-word, they sold them off, like, they did all of that, and they only, like, if you look back at Roots, the original, you just be sitting there like, whew, okay. And they don't have the technology that we have now, but they were able to show that back then. So, you don't do a movie about slavery, you gotta go hard or go home. Like, you have to show what happened. Even if it is all you can do is show the surface. The surface of what went on. Like, these were people. These were people. Human beings. And you mean to tell me that they were like, oh, they're my respected workers. What? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And the one time they did speak violent, like where it was really violent, was when they was like, we're going to catch you and then we're going to rip your arms off and, rip your limbs and just set you on fire. That's the only time they were actually like violent, said something that was violent. But other than that, I'm like, what? Were disposable objects that had no value. Right. Like, I feel like she made that movie comfortable. And I feel like that's, like, there are good movies about slavery and even with the civil rights movement. But I also feel like with a lot of these, and this is speaking truth, they always have to put in there that one token white person that's like, oh, we were good too. They always have that one token white person. Oh, we was cool. We was cool too. And it's like, yeah, but this ain't about you. Okay? Like, just like whenever it comes to talk about the what is it? The Holocaust. Okay, like, and that just goes back on where a lot of black people don't like, and I get it, when you talk about slavery and the civil rights movement, it's a very touchy subject, and I get that. But again, like these are things that we have to talk about, and it's like when there's plenty of Holocaust movies out there, and you don't see not one Jewish person be like, "I am so tired of this," because they welcome it. They're like, "We need to talk about this. This generation needs to know about it." But at the same time, like you don't ever see them, whenever they do these movies about the Holocaust, you don't ever see them, being showing the oh look let's all of us holding hands and look at this, it's running through a garden. No, they show the real deal Holyfield stuff that happened. People were killed in that. Okay, like families were split apart. So much happened during the Holocaust, and it just seems like when it comes to us, it's almost like we have to talk about it, but it's almost like let's dance around it, and it's like you cannot dance around this. You can't. There is no dancing around it. This movie was like a watered down to make them feel sad. It really was. It was so watered down. Like you cannot. This was, and I just want to know, like, how did her family feel about this? Because first of all, I would have been like, no ma'am. I want to know, how did Harriet's descendants, her family, all of that, how did they feel about this movie? Because I would have been, I feel like this movie was made by, I feel like this movie was made by Martin Luther King Jr.'s children. That's what I feel like. Just, let me water it down just a little bit. Did you see that witty movie? Wait, what? Whatever the name is. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Most white people don't watch slave movies because seeing where they're, yeah, any movie, you know what they need to do? I don't know if they've done it already, but they really do need to do a movie about, I don't think that's ever been done. If there's a movie out there where they truly talk about America and how it was truly made, like, oh, because when you think about it, and just going into a serious topic, this is, just really going in depth about it. And again, this is going on YouTube, so I'm okay with it. I don't think there's ever been a movie done where they really talked about, child, no one cares what's going on. Oh, Bree, hey, girl, we are talking about the Harriet movie. Now, here we go. So, the guy that directed Thor movie, the guy that made a movie called Jojo Rabbit, where it turned, like, the stuff that was happening. Oh, wow. Really? Oh, I have to check that one out. It's just, I feel like people, when it comes to, like, touchy subjects like slavery, or subjects like, Germany and the Nazis and the Holocaust and all that, like, you want to treat it like it's a delicate baby, because it is. It is, and you have to, if you're going to tell it right. You need to call the people that were there. You need to call the people that are descendants of, and historians, anybody you can come up, because the worst thing you can do is talk about something like that and what is going on with my ears. What is going on with my ears? What was that? Okay, you know that feeling when you got water in your ear and it's like bubbling up? That's what it felt like. Like something, anyway, too much information. The worst thing you can do is fuck it up. That is the worst thing. And I feel like it's very easy to fuck something like that up. It is. It's very easy. Like, it showed the German child soldiers and made it seem like they were, summer camp. And Hitler was like a funny, goofy, ooh. Uh-oh. You mean Scarlett Johansson? No, Scarlett Johansson. I don't like her. I don't like her at all. I cannot stand her. I'm sorry. Like, she oozes. She oozes just like when she did that movie Ghost in the Shell, like I just feel like there are times Hollywood can get it right and they can get it wrong. All the way wrong. A lot of times they can get it all the way wrong. And it's like, girl, JoJo's mom or maternal figure or something. Oh, so I see Scarlett Johansson just accepting anything, huh? See, that's why I don't like her. She just accepts anything. Just like when what's the name died in Endgame, and everybody's like, "Oh no, Black Widow died," and I was like, "Okay, sure, Jan, sure, okay." I mean, I had no connection to her or her character, so it is what it is. But overall, at the end of the day, when it comes to stuff like that, like, you either tell it, you gotta tell it right. You have to tell it. You gotta tell it all. Tell it right. Because when you just put out anything, like, when you're trying to do something good here, and I feel like a lot of them are trying to do something good here, and then you're not doing it the correct way, then it's, what do you have? Okay, her and Taylor Swift, ooze that I think all I say, yeah, like, they do. Like, they literally did a whole episode on Blackish where they were talking about, feminism, and, you had the group of white women, but as soon as the black women came through, and it was like, okay, well, we got issues too, and it's like, well, you're just making it about you, and we're talking about all of us, and it's like, well, that's the problem. If you're not going to acknowledge that we have the problems that we have, then you cannot sit here and say we're for all women, Like, you can't say, all lives matter, but as soon as we talk about, okay, this is what's going on in our community, then it's, oh, you're just making it about you. And that's the problem. Like, come on now. Come on, look at me speaking. Like, and that's just really what it is. But let's talk about Cynthia and her comments. Now, originally, before I even knew about, the whole comments, the things that she said, everybody was like, oh, well, we don't think that, because when you hear, people are pissed off because she's a British woman and she's playing an American, icon, I guess. Is she with Harriet? Yeah, she is. Whatever. This American historic figure. And it's like, at first I was like, what's the problem with that? Like, why are y'all like, come on now. But then, I didn't know she was out here talking about how black Americans are ghetto and all this and this and that. And I'm like, whoa. Tell me how you really feel. And it's like, you cannot, and what I mean by what I'm about to say, you cannot fault us for being here. Simple as that. You cannot fault black Americans for being American. Especially when you know the history of why we are here. It's not like we were able to hop on a plane and go to England or go to France or whatever. We're here. We were brought here against our will. And now it's like generations later, we're still here. So you cannot fault us for being here. Just like you have a lot of Africans, okay, you have a lot of them that don't like us because of, oh, they're ghetto and they're the way they are and all of this. And it's like, first of all, you act like we willingly got on these ships and we're just that, yeah, it's a cruise ship. Bring us over here to America so we can chill. No. And to be honest with you, what people never really talk about, let's not act like y'all mad because we're over here, but your people, your own people, helped. There were Africans that turned against their own people and helped because they didn't want to be captured themselves, and I'm pretty sure they were captured themselves. So you cannot sit here and be mad at us for being American. I'm sorry. It's like, we are not, like, what is the problem? She's working on that team because they deflected the hell out of her statement. Like, her vote harder than the devil. They better be, because for you to be sitting here talking shit about black Americans, like, I don't just, I'm just that right there, it's fine. It's like, you cannot fault us for being here. You can't. We're here. You don't see, people from, white people from London, faulting people from, that live all the way in France. Or you don't see them, looking down on people who live all the way in Ireland or, Norway or Sweden even. You don't see that. You don't. So, I don't understand, like, what is the look down for? Why are you looking down on us? Because we're, like, what? Like, you act like, we can't help that we were born here. I can't help that. So you're not going to sit here and make me feel bad about it, and make me feel less than because I was born here. I am so sorry. Like, what? Because for you to say, black Americans being ghetto and all, why we gotta be ghetto? Like, what? Not all of us, and I was literally talking about this last night, where whenever you see, like, Real Housewives of Atlanta or Love and Hip Hop, shows like that, where you have a lot of black people like, oh, that is like the worst, they are the worst because they're showing, the black community in a bad light. I'm like, but why is it this has to be? Like, why? There's so many versions of us. Why not show all of it, There's so many versions of us. Now, I'm not saying that, Love and Hip Hop and, Real Housewives isn't, it's trash. But it should not, like, this, because let me tell you something. The same thing we do on these reality shows is the same thing white people do on Jersey Shore, on The Real World, Teen Mom, Real Housewives. Have you watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Have you watched those white women arguing and going at it? The same thing we do. They do the same thing. The only difference, they got more money than we do. The only thing. These women got money. Okay? Not saying we don't, but they got money. They got a lot of money. These women are going, like, they got a lot of money. That's the only thing. But, I remember Real Housewives of New York. That white lady had a fake leg and she threw it across the table. At a function, at a party, at a get-together, a formal event. She threw her leg, a fake leg. So, I don't understand. I don't understand why is it when it comes to us that we are supposed to show that we are highly educated beings, and it's like not all of us are like that. Not all of us are going to be, not all of us are going to be doctors and lawyers and, psychiatrists and all that. Not all of us are going to be that. Because clearly we have a show, Married to Medicine, where you have these gynecologists and psychiatrists, but they are trashy as hell. Dr. Jackie literally just told everybody on Married to Medicine that Buffy is infertile. Like, you didn't told everybody that she infertile. Like, what? Who told you to say that? So, there's so many versions of us. And stop being ashamed. We need to stop being ashamed of ourselves. Simple as that. We have got to stop being ashamed. We have to start accepting every bit of us. It's okay. It is okay. Because you don't see these white people, and I've been saying Teen Mom should have been cut off. Like, I want to be artists and designers, and it looks down. Right. Like, just because we're black, and, you know, I've seen where people look down if you decide not to go to college. I've seen people get looked down like, well, college ain't for everybody. It's not. Not everybody can handle college. So don't look down, like, stop looking down on people because of the decisions that they make. Now, granted, the only time I feel like I've, you know, kind of gave my little side eye of love, my little side eye is when, well, no, yeah, the only time I give a side eye is when you have these little white girls who come in and they are clearly exploiting our culture, and they are clearly, you know, being ignorant and trying to be black. And you have us right there egging it on. Just, and I'm like, what? Are you serious? Like, y'all sitting here okaying this. Yo, I gotta use the bathroom. Let me come over here. And, 40 minutes ago, really? Okay. Daniel is a prime. Wait, who is that? Oh, I know who you're talking about. It's like, I don't understand why y'all just keep egging these people on, and it's like, they are complete trash. And some of us, like, for instance, I literally said it, I literally made a post about it yesterday in my story, and I literally said, why do y'all keep, you know what, this is what we're about to do, because this video is going up on YouTube. We're going to end, and we'll come right back, because we about to go in a whole other territory. So, hold on one sec.